The following program has been rated PG-13.
What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of the Israel Wake Up Call. And family, I want to go ahead and jump right into this. I want to show you a video of an officer in Savannah, Georgia that had an emotional breakdown that she recorded herself. This is not candid camera, that she actually recorded herself and posted on Facebook Live. So without any further ado, here we go.
I decided to come to the McDonald's at Love's on the Ford Avenue exit, and I waited in line to get my food. I had already done my mobile order so that, you know, people don't pay for my stuff, because I just always like to pay for it myself. But I'm on my way home from work. When I pull up to the window, they hand me my receipt, so I go to the second window to get my food, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And so the girl comes to the window and asks me what my order was. I repeat my order and my coffee order, and they ask me to pull up because my food's not ready. It's an English muffin meal with a hash brown and coffee. And I mean, I hadn't eaten since probably about, I've been up for a very long time, but I haven't eaten in a while, so I was kind of hungry. And I'm still waiting, and I'm still waiting, and they asked me to pull up. So I pull up forward, and a girl comes out with my coffee, and just the coffee, and she hands it to me, and I have my window down, and that's all she hands me is the coffee. So I told her, I said, don't bother with the food, because right now I'm too nervous to take it. It doesn't matter how many hours I've been up. It doesn't matter what I've done for anyone. Right now I'm too nervous to take a meal from McDonald's, because I can't see it being made. I don't know what's going on with people nowadays, but please, just give us a break. Please just give us a break. I don't know how much more I can take. I've been in this for 15 years, and I've never, ever had such anxiety about waiting for McDonald's drive-thru food. So just have a heart, and if you see an officer, just tell them thank you. Because I don't hear thank you enough anymore. All I want is just my...
Okay. Now, once again, I want to remind you that that was not candid camera. This sworn officer of the law uploaded this on Facebook Live herself. This was a conscious decision that she made to do. Now, I want to ask you a question, Israel. I want to ask you a question. How would you feel if this woman right here was dispatched to solve a dispute, a domestic dispute between yourself and your significant other? Right after all that crying, right after all of that emotion, how would you really feel if she had to deal with, let's just not say it's you. What if it was one of your sons or your daughters? Or let's just say if it was one of your family members. Do you really and truly believe, do you really feel in your heart that that woman right there is capable of handling a domestic dispute? Do you really? Now, before we go any further here, I want to read something. Now, this is already made national media. I'm going to read you a quote from NBC News, an interview that they had with this officer, Stacy Talbert. All right, so there are some very, very underlying issues that's in this interview that I want to bring to light, that needs to be brought up. This is something that needs to be evaluated, especially by the Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities, all right? I want to go ahead and read this. Now, I'll leave the link in the description so that you can see exactly where I'm reading from the source. All right, this is from NBC News. A sheriff deputy who complained about her drive-through fast food order captured in a viral video that was drawn ire and sympathy from social media users said many people have missed the point she was trying to get across. Stacy Talbert, a sheriff deputy in McIntosh County, Georgia, told NBC News that she recorded herself in a Facebook Live video Monday morning after an overnight shift, not out of fear, but to share her frustration. It's not that people are waiting in the wings to hurt us, she said Wednesday. It's that people don't trust us. Really? The video immediately became an example of the nation's sharp division in opinions about police officers. Conservatives said they were appalled that Talbert was deliberately mistreated by restaurant workers, while police critics said she was being overdramatic and acting entitled about a delay in getting a fast food meal. Now, I want to stop real quick as we read this. There are other officers that actually agree with this woman because this white privilege, emotionally unstable woman was complaining because she actually had to wait for her food to be brought to her. Not in the manner and fashion that she believed it should have been done. I'm laying this out here. And to continue, the 3-minute video had been viewed 8.2 million times by Wednesday evening. It was posted Tuesday night by a conservative account on Twitter. The video had been viewed 13.4 million times by Wednesday evening. In the video, Talbert, who lives in downtown Savannah, said she visited a McDonald's restaurant in Richmond Hill on her way home from work. She said she waited in the drive-thru to get her food after placing a mobile order so that, people don't pay for my stuff because I just always like to pay for it myself. When she pulled up to the first drive-thru window, Talbert said, she was handed her receipt and proceeded to the next window where she waited for her food. Quote, and I'm waiting, she said into the camera. She said a female employee asked her what she ordered. Talbert said she repeated her order, a McMuffin meal with hash browns and a coffee, and was then asked to pull her car up to wait for it. Quote, so I pulled up forward and the girl comes out with my coffee, she said, and just the coffee. Her voice began to shake as she said, and she hands it to me, and I had my window down, and that's all she hands me is the coffee. So I told her, I said, don't bother with the food because right now I'm too nervous to take it. Now, that right there is absolutely, it's crazy and it's insane. So what she's trying to reflect is that she is so nervous because of everything that's going on right now around the country with the way that the police are being treated. Now, you have to ask the question, why are the police being treated this way? Because of the way that they treat blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Primarily blacks. So, I have to ask the question, what color was the person that brought out her food? That's a question to ask right there. But of course, they won't show that. No one talks about that part right there. But I guarantee you, it was either a black, Hispanic, or a Native American. I want to continue reading this here. I'm telling you, it's deep. Quote, it doesn't matter how many hours I've been up, she continued. It doesn't matter what I've done for anyone. Right now, I'm too nervous to take a meal from McDonald's because I can't see it being made, she said in the video, wiping at tears. Talbert said into the camera that she does not know what's going on with people nowadays, but please just give us a break. Please, just give us a break. She added, I don't know how much more I can take. That right there is a statement that everybody's antennas should be going way up. I'm going to read that again. She added, I don't know how much more I can take. I've been in this for 15 years and I have never, ever had such anxiety about waiting for McDonald's drive-through food, end quote. At the end of the video, she said, just have a heart. And if you see an officer, just tell them thank you, because I don't hear thank you enough anymore. Well, Officer Stacy Talbert, if you happen to come across this video, let me go ahead and tell you something. We will never tell you thank you because of you and your comrades and the treatment that you have done to our people, the way that you are towards us. And guess what? You represent your brothers and sisters. And you, Officer Stacy Talbert, or should I say deputy, you do not belong on the police force. You don't. That woman does not belong on the police force. Now, I want y'all to understand something. This woman just said, I don't know how much more I can take. And she is in a McDonald's drive-thru having an emotional breakdown. I want y'all to understand. They gave this woman a badge, a gun, and authority to police Black, Hispanic, and Native American neighborhoods. That's a problem. That's a very, very big problem. Now, you have to ask yourself, how many more are just like her out there with this emotionally unstable mindset and attitude that I just can't take it anymore? And why are all these riots and everything happening? It's because of the way that they treat us. Point blank. They are the ones to blame. They're not victims whatsoever. We're the victims. And I'm not saying that every Black, Hispanic, and Native American are innocent in the things that they do. We know that's not true. But there are many of us that are. There are many of us that have been absolutely mistreated. But guess what, though, Israel? Guess what? What's happening to us right now is our fault. Why? Because the Most High put this on us. I'm going to read you something because I want to read more. I want to read a statement that she made, but I want to save that. I want to go to the scriptures because remember, we always got to bring the scriptures into this, baby. So, I want you to go to the book of Deuteronomy. Go to chapter 28, verse 50. Now, y'all already know where I'm going with this. These are the curses. I want to read this curse here to you. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. Israel, what we are experiencing right now with all this is our fault. The fault of our foreparents and the fault of us today because we continue to live in sin and break the law of the Most High God. We are responsible for this continuing to happen. And we are the only ones that can fix it. And the only way we can fix that is by keeping the commandments of the Most High God. That's it. That's the solution. Nothing more. No marching. No kumbaya. No we shall overcome. No. Keeping the commandments is the only solution. Now, I want to go down to verse 67. As a matter of fact, let's go to verse 66. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. That's deep. Woo, that's deep. And is that exactly not what we are going through today? That we cannot assure that when we walk out that door in the morning, that our life is not going to be assured. And especially by people like Deputy Stacy Talbert, who wants to have an emotional breakdown over an Egg McMuffin. Verse 67. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even, meaning evening, meaning at night. And at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. I want y'all to understand what that meant. That meant it doesn't matter what time of day it is, whether it's in the day or whether it's in the night. We are going to be under fear, watching over our shoulders completely to see whether or not if our own brother or sister are going to attack us and kill us because they want to rob us. Or if these police out here that has no regard for the young or the old, whether or not if they're going to be so emotionally unstable that day that they're going to put a damn bullet in our head. Or because something did not go right by them. Or because, I ordered a Sprite. They gave me 7-Up. I'm going to kill a nigger today. Is that far-fetched? I want to read you something here. I'm just going to read off some things here. And I want you to tell me if this is far-fetched. Tanisha Anderson, age 37. Michael Brown, 18. Tamir Rice, 12. Gabriela Navarez, 22. Akai Gurley, 28. Eric Garner, 43. Janisha Fonville, 20. Freddie Gray, 25. Michelle Cussor, 50. Alton Sterling, 37. Philando Castile, 32. Botham Jean, 26. Stephen Clark, 22. Aura Rossa, 40. Tatiana Jefferson, 28. Breonna Taylor, 26. George Floyd, 46. What did I just read? Those are the names of all of the black people that were killed by police. And that's just some of the names. Just some. These are the ones that made national headlines. These are not the ones that didn't. Because there are so many more. So when I sit there and make that statement as to whether or not if you have an emotionally unstable sworn officer of the freaking law who took an oath to protect and serve, is it really far-fetched to say that that woman right there would kill someone in a peaceful domestic dispute? It's not far-fetched. As a matter of fact, it happened many times. 17 just reading this right here. 17 times. Within the past span of a couple of years. That these police out there are killing our people. And then this emotionally unstable white privileged dog has the nerve to record herself and make the statement that she made because of a damn Egg McMuffin. That woman right there does not belong on a police force. She does not belong anywhere on a police staff that has to do with decision making when it comes to our people. I don't give a damn what you say. She doesn't. At all. And I'm so thankful that the Most High God raised that woman's spirit to show us exactly what we're dealing with on an emotional level. The things, now this is under the uniform. But the Most High God raised that up for us to see it. But y'all got to understand this though. The Most High said, listen, I'm going to take somebody like Deputy Stacy Talbert and I'm going to put her over you. Every last one of us should be insulted by that. I'm going to take these base individuals. I'm going to give them a badge. I'm going to give them a gun and authority to police our neighborhoods. And I'm going to put them over you just because y'all don't want to listen. And you are going to fear for your life. Don't tell me that this Bible is not real. Don't tell me that those curses are not real that the Most High God put on us. Now, I want to go to the very statement that she made, the one that brings such alarm and concern for me. I'm going to read this here to you because this is insane. But it is a gauge as to what's going on right now. And here's another quote. Now, this one is coming from the dailymail.co.uk. Quote, and this is what she said earlier, but I want to give the full thing. It's not that people are waiting in the wings to hurt us. It's that people don't trust us as we shouldn't, Talbert explained to NBC. She also gave an interview with TMX News in which she stated, people think it's trivial, people think it's funny, which the whole cop Karen thing is pretty funny. I'm not going to lie, but everyone in the law enforcement community understands exactly how I feel. Now, I want to give praise to the Almighty God of Israel for allowing that Edomite to make that statement. That right there is a huge statement, a very important statement, because she said that everyone in the law enforcement community understands how she feels. What does that mean? They all have that very same mindset that she does, that emotionally unstable mindset. None of these individuals should be carrying a badge, a gun, and given authority over us. That right there explains all the names that I just read. Do y'all understand that, Israel? This is indeed a true wake-up call. This is right here why this show was created in the first place. And everybody think that this is funny. They're making jokes about it. This is not funny at all. We have a nation of people out there with that mindset. We have these people that took an oath to protect and serve with that mindset. Israel, if this is not a wake-up call that, okay, we need to start keeping the commandments and allow the Most High God to protect us, then you're insane. You might as well be right along with her. Now you really have to ask the question, who employed this woman? Who thought it was a good idea to put a badge and a gun in her hand? Who thought it was a good idea? Who signed off on this? Who evaluated this woman and said, okay, it's safe for you to go out into the field? There it is, Israel. There it is. This is insanity. But the only ones that can change this is us. We're the only ones. So, I'm glad that y'all saw that. I'm glad this actually happened because this is our reality. Israel, what are we going to do to change it? There's only one thing we can do. One thing. Keep the commandment to the Most High God so he can protect us and put us back where we belong. If not, this is going to continue to happen. And it's not going to affect you until it's one of your close personal relatives or friends that they just happen to get emotionally unstable over and pop their skull off before you actually want to jump and have something to say about it. Because as long as it's far away from you, people don't care. They don't care. But your mindset needs to change because we should really start caring. And especially with them going around now and freely killing our people. And not only that, but now that there are our brothers hanging from trees again. They're getting back into their old ways. If you haven't heard. They're getting right back into their old ways. Just as they always have. The Most High is raising that spirit of violence up in them again. And guess what? A lot of those officers have clan member, family members if they're not one themselves. It's time to wake up, Israel. No more games. The Most High is showing us what's going on. on an emotional level. Okay? So I don't want to take up any more of your time today. That right there explains it all. It is what it is. But we can change it. All right? So Israel, I want y'all to be safe out there. I want you guys to have a phenomenal week. And I want you to discuss amongst yourselves, what are we going to do? It's time to take action. And the time is now. All right? And with that being said, Israel, I love you. I'm out.